In this video, now we're going to talk about getting started with your membership site. We're going to discuss a quick and easy method that you can use to build simple membership websites. Creating your membership site, you can start simple, stay focused, and be committed. That's the most important thing to having and running a successful membership site. A lot of people get excited about them because they allow you to have residual income, and so they are very popular for that very reason. So the most important thing to start with is simplicity, which is where we're going to start today. We're going to show a very basic membership type platform that you could set up that would allow you to charge an ongoing monthly fee, which is why memberships are so important. You really want to start out by building just one of these, websites, getting one of these set up, but you're going to see how simple they really are to set up. And you don't want to have multiple ones because it's best to have one, focus on that, and then move on to your next membership site. Just make sure you're staying focused and don't allow yourself to be distracted by the latest and greatest methods for making money. If you've decided that setting up a membership site for the residual income is for you, then make sure you focus fully on doing that. Just stay committed, and it's very important that you make a commitment to building one site right now. Get your membership site up and running and pulling in money before you move on to your other site. Now there's several different membership site types that you could choose from, and I'm going to discuss those here, and there's one particular that we're going to focus on and actually set up for this particular video. You've got a fixed term site which only runs for a specified amount of time, and so basically a fixed term site, members remain members for whatever amount of time you specify. It could be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. You could break it down into 6 weeks, 12 weeks. You can set it up however you would like. But what that does is that actually enables you with a fixed term membership. It basically enables you to have an end to the membership so it doesn't have to go on forever. So if you are limited on content that you have for your course or your product, it is limited. It also can increase conversions on the front end, and also encourages people to stay longer because at least they know there's an end in sight. With other membership type formats that are not fixed term, it makes people realize that this could go on and on and on forever because there's really no end to it. So with an end there, it actually might make people stick around longer. A lot of times with membership sites, people will stay, an average around 2 to 3 months, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes even less, sometimes even a month. They're not there very long for average membership sites, and that's even with having some good content. So it's important that you come up with solutions to maybe get people to stay longer. And a fixed term membership actually can get people to stay longer because they see an end in sight. And that's something that definitely wanted to bring to your attention. You basically build your lessons and you'll deliver around your chosen fixed time frame. So you could build your lessons basically to go through each month. Month 1, month 2, month 3, or you could do it, week 1, week 2, etc. But set it around that specific time. The benefits of these is they are fairly easy to set up. They're low cost. Less content is needed because it doesn't have to go on forever and ever, and it doesn't require constant updating. You can actually, set up the content, unless of course there's, you're teaching materials like, technology that could change at any point. There's not going to be tons of updating either. If you're doing dog training or being better at golf, most of the time things aren't going to change in those type niches. Weight loss, fitness, all that, things aren't going to change that drastically probably. So you're going to be pretty good. You're not going to have to be constantly updating, constantly adding new content. Once it's set up, it'll be set up properly. With a fixed term membership though, people know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and again, that's going to help people realize that maybe I should stick around for the full 6 months instead of leaving, because people just look at that as something that's going to go on and on and on. A traditional membership site is more common. You're very familiar with them. Members join after they sign up. You've gone to those registration forms. Many of you have probably seen them. Members join and remain members as long as they want to be members. So basically, these type of memberships could go on forever. Another type of membership site, kind of, is services. And I say kind of because you can take that how you want, but services that charge a monthly fee, those sometimes are run from a membership site. You might have traffic submission services, there might be article submission services. There's various services out there as well that people pay a monthly fee for. Now, if it's training, there are services where people can stay a member for as long as they really want to be. So there's lots and lots of opportunities there. Each month or year, the members are charged a membership fee. So you could have actually an annual charge to be in a membership, just get a big lump sum in the beginning and when it's time to renew, or you could do a monthly, break that down into monthly payments. They continue to be charged until they cancel their membership. So unlike the fixed term, there is no end in sight with traditional memberships. And so depending on your content, this is more popular if you're selling private label rights content, basically where there's always new stuff you can offer them. Same thing with services, things like that. These are more popular for that. Now, if you're going over, certain materials like how to train your dog better, how to lose weight, how to do golf, there comes a point where you maybe can't provide them any more content, so at that point, it might be better to do a fixed term membership. And just think about your niche and understand that at some point, if you have members that are there for over a year, you may run out of things to give them. And so it might be better just to set your fixed term membership at a year and deliver as much value in that year as you can. So as long as the members are kept happy, then you'll always have a profitable site, because you're always going to have some members that are sticking with you on a monthly basis. And it's a lot better to get paid up front one time than it is to get paid on the back end several times. So it's going to be a lot better for you, to have to go after one customer that's going to pay you month after month for even if it's just 3 months, rather than working hard to get one customer that just pays and then leaves. A downside, traditional membership sites, they need constant content, and it tends to be a very high cancellation rate with them. Just for the fact that people don't see an end in sight, and so if after month 1 or 2 they're not getting what they expect, they're just going to leave. And then, like we mentioned again, there is a need for constant content. You're just going to always need to be providing new content to make these work. Now, this membership site, it's not overly common and it's not taught a lot, but this is actually the membership site system we're actually going to teach for this particular course when we actually do our live screen training coming up in just a few minutes here. And an autoresponder membership site, it's quite honestly the easiest and least expensive type of membership site to set up. There's no expensive software. If you're serious about having your internet business, you already have an autoresponder set up. You need that anyways, to capture names and emails and build your list up. So you already have that, so that's not an additional cost. All you need is your domain and hosting, which you need that anyways with other platforms. So there's really no extra expenses to run these. So they are the least expensive type of membership and very, very simple to set up, and also fairly maintenance free for the most part. The biggest drawback is that it usually doesn't work for higher end membership sites, just because people don't feel like they're getting there's money's worth, if you're delivering something through email. But there's ways you can structure it actually, to where, and we'll show you a flow chart here in just a little bit so you can see how these work. But you could actually, instead of sending them, you could send them an email with their content, and that email could be a link to a video that maybe you've posted somewhere, or it could be a link to an article. So every month or two they get access to their training by email, but it's links to go check out different pages, just regular standard HTML pages. So there's very little programming experience needed. In fact, there's no programming experience really needed for these, and that's a big plus. People sign up basically to be a member, and then their content again is delivered through email. That's how that works. And you're all familiar with autoresponders. They have a follow-up feature already built into them, and so this is already set up for that, in the sense that once they put in their name and email after they've purchased from you, it's going to start setting up the follow-up message sequence that maybe you've already uploaded, if your content's already produced. So you've got the sequence set up, so all you really have to focus on is getting more members into that membership site, and you know that you've got people in there that they're going to stay for 6 months, for a year. And these work best for fixed term type memberships, basically because you have it set up on an autoresponder. with a follow-up message sequence. So it's best to know where the end is for that. And you could also always do an ongoing one. It's just that every single month you just send out a broadcast message to that list. So I mean, you could certainly do that with an autoresponder membership site. It can be either fixed or traditional, like I just mentioned. If it is traditional, again, you'll just have to send out a broadcast every month, or you could queue up enough to last you the whole year or 2 years, and then after that, after the content runs dry, you could just broadcast out more content to them. The fixed term membership is probably the easiest with this, just because it's set and forget. So all you need to set this up is just like many other membership sites, but you need a sales page and you'll need a thank you page, and then also you'll want to consider having a download page. And the main reason for that, let me explain myself here, and I'll explain it more when I do the video, is you want to be able to capture your buyers' names and emails, and then also get them on a separate list that's just for product delivery. So that's like a list where you wouldn't send affiliate promotions to. That list is designated just for product delivery. And the reason, you're probably wondering, that's crazy to make them set up two lists. The reason you would want to do this is because if they cancel, once they're already in their autoresponder, they're going to get, let's say they cancel at month 3 and it's a 6-month membership program, well, they're still going to get months 4, 5, and 6 and not have to pay for it. And so you're going to have to log into your Aweber, which we'll show you here with the video, and just simply type in their email and erase their information and stop their autoresponder sequence. And so that's why you want to have two lists, because when you do that, you don't want to erase the people from your complete buyers list. And so it's good to have like a thank you page that say thanks for buying. In order to get details and accessing your product, check this out, or fill out your name and email. Once they fill out their name and email, they're taken to a download page that could be called in a delivery page, or whatever, product delivery page. And then on that page you could maybe have a link to a bonus or something, and along with that bonus you can have them put in their name and email in order to activate their membership. And basically once they activate it, then it's going to start delivering the content to them. So you just need your sales page and a thank you page and a download page possibly, and then an autoresponder, and then a way to accept payments. You could use ClickBank. In fact, if you're doing a monthly membership, ClickBank actually now allows you to do rebills. Pay.com.com, they actually allow you to do that. They actually run through PayPal, basically where payments are processed to your PayPal, but Pay.com actually allows you to track affiliates, and so you could use ClickBank or Pay.com to track affiliates and still run a fixed term autoresponder membership site, and you don't have to fret about setting up expensive software or anything like that. You could just use PayPal if it's just you and you're not going to have affiliates. You could use 2checkout.com, your own merchant account. You get the idea, but really you could use almost anything. Basically the content is delivered through the follow-up sequence, and that's what's most important as far as an autoresponder membership site. So here's kind of an example. Wanted to give you a diagram so you could actually visualize the flow and the process of an autoresponder membership site. And this example here, we're just going to say this is a 6-month fixed term membership. So they're going to come in through a sales page. You could even start them off at a squeeze page if you really want to. List build, grab their name and email. From there, they're taken to a sales page. Check out. If you're really serious about getting traffic, I got a traffic video for every single month or whatever for the next 6 months. So you have your sales page. They invest in the course, they're ready to go. You take them to a thank you page. On that thank you page, you make sure in order to get access to to start getting your training, make sure you put in your name and email here. Grab their name and email. After that, it takes them to a download page, which would be like most download pages, but you're going to have another opt-in form there possibly that says this is now the list that you need to be on, that's just solely focused on product delivery. So in order to get your product, you need to make sure you're here, and here's a couple of bonuses, just so you make sure you have everything. So that would be like what your download page looks like. And then at this point, all that you really need to worry about is the follow-up sequence that should already be set up with an Aweber, and we're going to show you how to set those up. But you set up your follow-up sequence, so every month it delivers a content, maybe every week, however your membership program is structured, if it's weekly, monthly, daily, I mean, however you have it set up or promise them in their sales page. Uh, Aweber is very flexible as far as doing that. And so you have your follow up number one, then it's going to follow up with number two, month two, month three, and then onward. It's just going to automatically deliver the content once they've set it up. So you're probably wondering why I just showed you such a simple flow chart, and that is really to indicate how simple this really is, because you set up your basic sales page like you've set up anything else, your thank you page, you possibly have a download or activation page, just to get them on that separate list, and that's just from a marketing standpoint advice. I mean, you could technically get away with just a sales page and getting their name and email once. Again, the reason I say to do it twice is if they cancel, you're going to have to go in there and erase them so that they're not getting the content for free. Because once they activate their subscription, it's going to automatically email them all the content unless you stop it. And we'll show you how to stop that, which is really easy, really simple to do, and it's no worse than dealing with any other membership software. So that is, in a nutshell, how you set up an autoresponder membership site. You're basically, the meat and potatoes of it is you need to be an Aweber, setting up all your follow-up messages first. Once they're set up, you can really just focus on getting all the traffic you can to that sales page to get the process rolling. So now that we've touched on that, I'm going to talk a little bit about creating content for your membership site. You can create the content on your own. You can do your own videos, your own audios. You could use private label rights content. You can create content just like for any other course. Just make sure you have enough content, to last for however long your membership's going to be. And again, if it's ongoing, then you could just maybe have content created every month, or make sure you have at least 6 months to a year created, that kind of thing. You can outsource to a freelancer, and this is one of the best ways to reduce the overall cost of generating content, is leverage the services of freelancers. That way, because your time's valuable, and that's why we mentioned that. Private label rights is inexpensive as well for you. It's an inexpensive way to get content that you can work with. You can do things like interviews with experts. That's a very powerful thing that you could consider doing. Interviews with experts are always a big thing. Offer a new interview each month, or do an interview one month and more content the next month. Do your best to ensure your content is unique, good quality, and high value to ensure they stay around longer and put more money in your pocket. Focus on over delivering, and you should have no problem keeping people there. So make sure your content is solid for your membership. Now here is, there's a couple solutions I also wanted to share with you before we actually go in and start creating our own autoresponder membership. There's a software program out there called Amember that's a very popular membership platform. It costs around $200. They have different limited time special offers like you see in the screenshot, so it varies, but it's around $200 for a license, so it does cost money. There is a learning curve to it, but they do have video tutorials if that's a route you want to go. They also have a built-in affiliate program. There's a lot of features with Amember, and so it is another option for setting up a membership site. We're not going to be going into Amember for this. We're going to be showing you how to set up, like a fixed-term membership using an autoresponder, which is the most basic, simplest form of a membership site that you can set up so that you can get those residual income. But Amember is a solution. And another really cool solution out there that not a lot of people are aware of is called S2 Member, and this is a fairly new WordPress plugin that again runs on WordPress. It basically takes a WordPress blog, which is also very simple to set up, and turns it into a membership site, and that's called S2 Member. And this is a completely free option. They have an upgrade for free, but they have a small upgrade fee for some additional templates and things like that that you can consider. But the plugin itself, using the basic WordPress template, is completely free, and it's a very good system. The only problem with it is that it integrates only with PayPal for processing payments. Amember integrated with quite a few more payment options. Just like if you're doing the autoresponder membership, which we're going to set up, you can use almost any payment processor to do that. Now with S2 Member, you're limited only to PayPal, but it is a really slick program, and you can quickly set it up using Aweber. You can just go to Google, type in S2 member, or from the back end of your WordPress, just do a search for plugins and type in S2 member, and it should pull it up so you can install it. And they've got a lot of good helpful tutorials. So that's S2 member, another membership software that you could consider. That is, and this one is free. So now we're going to get started creating our membership site. And again, we're creating a very basic autoresponder membership site with this video on-screen training. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and go on over to Aweber. Aweber, if you're familiar with it, it is actually used for email marketing most of the time, for email management, and it does broadcast messages. It's the most popular solution, arguably, for doing opt-in email campaigns as far as internet marketers are concerned. And Aweber is very good for actually doing very simple, basic types of memberships using their follow-up sequences and things like that. So I'm going to show you real quickly how to set that up. And as usual, there's a couple of software solutions that you are going to need to download in order to make this work for you. The first one is Composer. Composer, again, is absolutely free HTML software. You've probably learned about it online before, but it is an absolutely free HTML editor that works with both Windows and also Mac computers. The other one that you're going to need is called FileZilla. So you're going to need to get a copy of FileZilla. In FileZilla, just go ahead and go to Google, type that in, and their website looks like this. FileZilla is another free solution, and you're going to need these two programs because they're going to enable you to set up these very basic download pages that you can actually give to your subscribers for your monthly content, whether it's monthly content, weekly content, every other day content, however you have it set up. You're going to need these tools in order to set that up properly. And you will need an account at Aweber to make this work. But if you are running any kind of legitimate, online business that you're very serious about, you are going to have some sort of a program like Aweber. GetResponse also works. Anything like that. You just need a way that you can build up your email list, so that you can promote offers to your list and also promote your own products and services. But most importantly, it also allows you to build up that buyers list and things like that, because that buyers list are your key customers that'll come back to you to buy later on. So it's very important that you do consider getting something like Aweber for this. It's going to run you $19 a month to start out with, which is very inexpensive, and it still runs. The great thing about it is you can run membership to a very basic type of membership called like a fixed term membership, or you could do it in ever-going membership if you'd like to. But you can do a very basic membership sites with Aweber, and they're simple to set up, they're easy, and the great thing about them is since it's all going to be run through emails, you don't have to mess with setting up tons of different fancy software solutions and things like that. It's just very, very basic to get it set up. So what you can do, the first thing that you're going to need is your Aweber account. So go ahead and go to aweber.com, and you're going to want to sign up for your account. Now, if you already have an account with Aweber, and again, like I said, it's multifunction because you can use it to run your membership. And Aweber's not a membership software, so I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying it's a membership software. It by no means is it a membership software, but it is a solution that basically allows you to send out follow-up messages to your customers. And so it's a great solution for setting up a type of membership program where basically your customers invest in your program, and every single month or every couple weeks, however you have your content set up, your Aweber would automatically send out an email with information on that particular product. Maybe they send them just a direct email talking about what they bought. Maybe it's a direct link for them to go download files from somewhere. Maybe it's a direct link to a PDF ebook. However the content is structured, that's going to determine how you set it up within Aweber. So I'm going to show you first how to set this all up within Aweber, and then I'll show you very briefly how to use Composer to create these basic pages and how you can kind of work it together to create your own little membership site, your own basic membership content. So you are just going to log in, go ahead and log into your Aweber account. So I'm just going to do that real quick. And if you come on in here to Aweber, you're going to go to the very top here where it says create and manage list. Create and manage list. And you're just going to want to choose create a new list. Create a new list. And inside here, you're going to want to call this something related to your membership. So, let's just call this membership 1, for example. 1, 2, 3, maybe. There you go. Membership 1, 2, 3. And looks like that's being used. So let's come up with something else. Let's call this dog train member 1, 2. Let's see. Dog train membership. There you go. We're going to call this dog training membership number 1. So this is our dog training membership. And you want to name it something so that it relates to whatever your membership's about. That way you know exactly what this is. The great thing is Aweber allows you to have unlimited autoresponders, so you could set up unlimited, monthly membership type programs if you wanted to, if you really, wanted to get serious about it. So you got your list description here. And you've got your name. Could go here, your email. Just put in that basic information to set up your list. And you're just going to come here and you could connect it to your Twitter and Facebook. And let's see, you can come on down here and go to step 2. And we're going to go to a confirmed opt-in section. So we're going to come here and we're going to select response required. And we're going to put in a message here, because what's going to happen is once they opt in, once your buyers end up going to your sales letter, because in order to have a membership, you got to obviously have a sales letter that you sell people on. I'm not going to cover how to set up a sales letter here. There's a lot of information about that online. Plus, there's also within parts of this training, if you ended up getting this entire package together, there are going to be pieces that talk about setting up sales letters as well. So it's a very good to go out there and watch those, because you do need a front end sales letter. So as we set this up, just assume that people have gone through the process of investing in your program. They've bought whatever it is you have to offer. They've gone through your sales page, they've gone through that, and they're ready to buy. So just think about that and keep that in mind as you set this up. So right here, we're just going to put a message that says, thank you for your business. In order to receive your membership content, you must confirm your name and email below. And so all that does is basically let people know that, hey, in order to receive your membership content, you must confirm your name, your email below. And that basically instructs them on what to do. Your email below by clicking on the confirmation link. And that's basically there again to let your customers know what they're supposed to do, because this whole system won't work unless they've confirmed their name and email. And we're setting it up from the get-go just because it is super important. So we'll just go ahead and put in your name. And we're just going to come down here, click on Save List Settings. And once they've confirmed and clicked on their confirmation link, you could choose to set up, if you wanted to set up a very basic page on your website, you could actually choose to set up a very basic page in your website, and call it, from inside here, you could just, basically on there, thanks for signing up, check your email, your first installment of your membership is available right here, something like that. So a blank white page will get the job done, very, very basic page, and I'll show you that within Composer. But if you are wondering what the confirmation URL is, it is a good thing to have, because once your customers confirm, they want to make sure that their information's been accepted, and especially if you're going to be billing them every month, they want to make sure that they are going to start getting some content from you. So make sure you send them to a confirmation page that says, thank you for confirming you're on the list, check your email for your first installment of the training. Basically that's all you have to do. So You can come on in here and just put in yourdomain.com / ty123 or something, whatever your thank you or confirmation page is. You can just put that in there and then go ahead and choose save list settings. The next thing that we need to set up now is very simple to do, and we need to actually set up a follow-up message. So we need to come in here and set up a follow-up message system. So what you need to do is come here to where it says add new follow-up message. So go ahead and choose add new follow-up message, and this is where your membership site, so to speak, is going to start transforming. This is where your users are going to get your content, is through this follow-up sequence. Now the follow-up sequence is set up, for if people sign up to your list for free, if they sign up to your paid list, you can add whatever you want to follow-ups. You can have unlimited follow-ups, and that's what's great about it. And so all you have to do here is, instead of having to deal with setting up fancy software and dealing with stuff like that, you could really just sit there and focus in on putting in your follow-up content. So you can just come on in here and make a comment or put your subject. You could maybe start it off with month. Let's call this week 1 training. So we'll call this week 1 training, the basics. And you can scroll on down here and you could type out your message. You could either do it in plain text, or you could do HTML if you wanted to. So we'll just do a basic one, and we'll just put hello first name. And you can do first name fix to make sure their name comes in correctly. You've made a great choice to start this membership. Over the next 6 weeks, you will learn how to train your dog more effectively. So that's just something very basic that I just did there. So over the next 6 weeks, you'll learn how to train your dog more effectively. Your first, here is your first PDF or video. Let's say PDF and video that you can start to learn from. So there you go. Here's your first PDF, and let's call this actually a month. Let's just call this month 1 training. Month 1 training, the basics, and let's just call this month 1, and we're going to make this a 6-month membership is what we're going to do. So this is only going to go on for 6 months. The great thing about doing memberships like this too is you could call this like a fixed term membership, so to speak, because basically you're not going to be billing them forever and ever, which actually can be a hindrance to a lot of people wanting to that may be interested in a program, but a lot of them are afraid it's going to be hard to cancel and all that, and so they never sign up because there's no end in sight. And so this way you at least give them an end in sight. And most membership sites, typically people will average in there about 2, 3, maybe 4 months. And so if you can set like a fixed term, it's going to make people stick longer, and because they actually see a light at the end of the tunnel. They feel like, okay, well, I'm going to get all this content in 6 months, plus I'm not going to be billed every month after forever and ever. So it kind of puts people at ease, and that's what we're doing here. So we're just going to call this, here's your first PDF and video that you can start to learn from, and you can just put a link, you can put a direct link to your PDF that maybe you've uploaded to your hosting account. And I'll show you briefly after this how we can set that up. So we'll call this training1.pdf. And then if you have a video, you could put a link, to the video. If that was your video file. So you're giving them both links, and then you can give your support. Let me know if you need anything at all. And so there you have it. So that's your month 1 content. Just a very, very basic, very basic membership. Now, of course, you're going to want to add more. You could add more content. You can give people instructions like, hey, your assignment in this, for this month is to, make sure that you follow the PDF and take action with your dog, or make sure you do this many reps with your golf swing, or do this many reps on your workout. Whatever the case is, whatever niche you're going after. If you're internet marketing, make sure you do, this task every single day, to see where you are, to begin what you're going to earn next month or whatever it is. You can send them direct links to videos that you might have. You could send them direct links to PDFs, and it's just very, very basic. So we're just going to set it up this way. This is interval number 1, which will be sent immediately, and we're just going to go ahead and save message. And once that's saved, now we're going to come here and we're going to create a new follow-up message. And this is called month 2. So let's call this month 2. And let's go ahead and call month 2, let's see, month 2 training. And let's call this sit and stay. So you're going to teach your dog how to sit and stay for this month. Or you're going to learn how to, you know, cure your golf slice in this month's training, or you're going to learn how to start driving traffic with pay-per-click in this month. Whatever it is, you get the idea. Whatever it is you're offering, you're going to, whatever it is for that month, you're just going to talk about it. Your content could be your entire content without, could doesn't even have to have links. It could be your entire, month's worth of content. It could be an entire essay in there. In that case, you might want to be putting it in HTML so that you can make things bold and make things stand out. Here's the HTML part. I could bold certain things so that's easier on the eyes. We could do a combination of training in here along with PDFs again. So give them instructions. And then you just, obviously change your PDF there so that the right one comes up. So what we're going to do now then, now that we've actually put in our content for this month, and of course your content could be different. You could just have videos only. In that case, you could send them direct links to watch videos. You could do PDFs, or you don't even have to include anything. You could just type out all the content for them, type out their assignments, give them resource links, things like that. It's completely up to you. Every membership is going to be different, of course. This is just a medium for delivering content that's simple to do, and that's why I'm showing you here. So you're going to see it's going to say interval, and it'll say interval number 2 is set 4 days after the previous. Well, you can come on in here and choose 28 days, because there's 28 days in February, or you could pick 30 days, however you want to set it up. And so let's just go with 28 days. So every 28 days, new content will be sent out, or we could just say 30 days. Just try to make it easy. But you can kind of basically pick how you want to set that up. So, and then we can come here, go to track clicks, and we'll save that message. And then I'll set up one more, but by this point you should get the idea as to what we're trying to accomplish here. So now we're going to just come over here, go to add new follow-up, and we're going to call this, let's see, month 3 training, and let's call this, let's see, potty training or house training. There we go. Or you call it crate training for your dog, however you want to do that. So we're going to do month 3 training is on crate training. So you come in here, just put in your content again, and here's your PDFs. You can change the file names again. And it's good once you start this to try to be consistent with the delivery of the content. That way people know what to expect every month. And you could even do things too, like maybe midway through the month you could send them a reminder if you really wanted to as well. So there's all sorts of options there. So let's just come in here, set that at 30-day intervals, and just select save message. And you can choose to track links or not if you want to inside here. So you can see in here, there's lots of different options. You could come in here and set up, like month 2 training, sit and stay, and you could set that to come out at an interval of 14 days from this previous one if you wanted to. So That way, that during the beginning of the month they get the training, and the middle of the month, that way, if for some reason they lost it or something, you at least know that there's a follow-up that's going to ensure that they get notified of it, so that they stay happy and so that they're getting the content they signed up for. So you just want to set up a bunch of these, however many you have. You could have a weekly membership, you could have a monthly membership. It's going to be completely up to you how you go ahead and set that up. And that's found again under messages and follow up. And the great thing about this is that once this is set up, you actually have a system in place to where you can send your customers to an opt-in form after they buy, and instead of them basically going to a page to download, they go to a page to put in their name and email again, and that name and email basically is their source to the downloads. And so as soon as they sign in, whether it's 2 a.m., they're automatically sent month one's content. Well, then every month thereafter, around that time, they're going to continue to get notifications. So they're going to know every 30 days or every 14 days or whatever, they're going to get notified of more content. You can let them know in the messages that you do what's coming up next month. That kind of stuff's going to be good because it's going to keep them interested. It'll keep them wanting more content from you, which is ultimately the goal, because then they're going to stay longer and possibly stay the whole 6 months. They might stay the whole 12 months if that's what it is. It might stay the whole 6 weeks or just half that time, whatever it is. The goal is to make sure that they're excited about what's coming up next. And it's good if in your membership, and this is technical training and but more of a strategy I'm trying to portray here, but it's good if you can basically make your content go from month to month. So like in dog training, you can start with the basics and then say we're going to learn about sitting and staying, because that's going to help your dog be better when you're trying to crate train. And next month we're going to learn all about how to prevent barking, or how to prevent chewing on unnecessary items and things like that. But just get people excited about what's coming up the next month, so they are going to stick with you. And so you just want to set up these follow-up messages. So you set up your list in Aweber just like you've always set it up, and you set up your follow-up messages. And there's two different angles you could pursue here. My first recommendation, and ideally, would be for you to set up two lists for each membership. And the reason I say two lists is you want to have one list that's set up right after they buy your program. So right after they buy your program, they're taken to like a thank you page or something. Let's just say, for example, they're taken to a thank you page, and on this page, you tell them that in order to access your product, make sure you put in your name and email. Now this could be would be seen as slightly redundant, but hear me out as to why I'm recommending you do this. You want to put in, thank you for your purchase, thank you for your investment, and in order to get this training and everything else, you're going to need to put in your name and email to get access to the special list or whatever it is that they need to sign up. And so you can have your regular confirmation thank you page, and we've set those up before. So you've got your regular confirmation page. And the reason you want to have two lists is because you want to have a list of buyers, and then you want to have your list of those in the membership. And there is a strategic way you can do that. You're basically just saying, in order to get access to the special product list, make sure you put in your name and email, or in order to get access to your training, put in your name and email. Once they put in their name and email, that comes after they've bought your program, of course. Then they're taken to another page, which is basically their download page, but it says, hey, your downloads are delivered electronically. Make sure you put in your name and email in this special form, this time just to make sure you're getting all the content. And so it's simple as that. Most of the time people aren't going to complain too much, because you need to get them on another list so that they're automatically delivered the content on time and on schedule. So so the reason you have that first list is so that you capture all your buyers, because your buyer leads in Aweber are ultimately going to be the leads that you're going to want to keep, because those are the leads that will keep coming back. Those are the people that will keep buying from you in the future. And the reason you want to have two separate lists is because with any kind of membership, membership members could they could just quit becoming a part of it. They could refund. They could cancel, their membership. That's just part of the business. And if they do any of those things, you need to be able to remove them so that they're not so that they don't continue getting the content. If they've canceled or stopped or refund or whatever, you need to make sure they're not continuing to get the content. And so what you can actually do here is just go to where it says subscribers, and we'll add a test subscriber here. So let's just call this John. All right, and then this is just a test here, and we'll just go to add subscriber. So let's see, that email was too plain. So let's try John Smith, and let's go. Let's see. Okay, so that person has been added. I just went ahead and added that subscriber just to test this out. You're going to have a list of subscribers once you've set up, your web form. These are going to be your list of buyers and things like that. So you're going to come in here to where it says search. And let's say that John Smith here has decided to cancel. So this is one of your maintenance things that you would have to do to maintain this. It's pretty much autopilot, set and forget. But on those occasions when somebody wants to refund or cancel, all you have to do is just jump into your Aweber, send them the refund through PayPal or whatever. Make sure you cancel their billing, but also just come on in here and go to subscribers, and you can do a quick search for them by just doing a search here, and it'll pull down a list of subscribers that you can actually pull from. So we'll just choose display segment. So now you're going to see your list of subscribers. You'll be able to see right in here which one has confirmed and which one has not actually confirmed. And for those that have not confirmed, if maybe it's taken a couple days, you may want to send them an email and say, make sure that you're getting your content, make sure you confirm your message, and that's why you tell them response required. Most of the time, if they buy, they are going to make sure that they have confirmed, so that they can start getting the training. But in this case, you may need to just send them a gentle reminder. There's their email. But in the case where somebody decides to cancel or refund, which happens all the time, maybe they got what they needed in the first 3 months, so they canceled after that. Whatever the reason is, they canceled, and you need to make sure that you've gone to the payment processor, whether it's you're using your own merchant account, PayPal, to checkout, whatever it is, and make sure you've canceled the monthly rebills. But also make sure you come in here to Aweber and just remove them from this list so that they don't continue getting the follow-up emails. So all you have to do is just go to subscribers, go to search, and you can actually type, come on in here and say the name is, and you could type in John, or you could say, their email is, and you could put in their email, that they maybe sent to your support or whatever it is where they canceled. So we can just do a search, and it'll only pull up, that person. Or you could just do one by, all subscribers if you wanted to as well. And if you want to erase them, just come down here, find their information, confirm it's them, and just click on erase, and then hit save, and that will just clear them out of the system so that they're not going to get a constant influx. And that's why I recommend you set up the to list, because you're erasing them as they cancel and unsubscribe from the other one. And so if you have to list, now you've got, at least you have a buyer's list from those that have expressed interest in buying. Now this way of doing memberships, am I saying it's the best number one way to do a membership site? Not really. Is it a simple way to set them up? Most definitely. Is it a simple, easy way to get residual income from memberships? Certainly. And that's why I wanted to show it to you. And it is extremely simple to work with, because mainly you're just setting up your Aweber list and you're queuing up your follow-up messages is all, with all your content. And it's very set and forget, to the effect that once your content's created, you can just sit back and just focus on selling people on that sales page and get them to get into your message sequence. Now, once once you've set everything up, you are going to need to create your web forms by just going to web forms here, and we're just going to create a quick web form that's basically going to enable us to grab their name and email so that we can start following up with them and send them their content that they provided. And this would be what would go on like the product download slash thank you page. You know, this is how they get access to their content. And you're going to create another list and another form for your buyers. And you don't have to do it that way. You could just create just the one list, but it's going to be best if you could do the two lists because then you have a buyers list that you're building. But since it's technical, we're just going to jump in here and I'm going to set this up real quick. We're just going to use a basic template here. So let's just put this in here. We'll just go with basic and choose load template. And where it says edit header, you come in here and you could put in content if you wanted to, or you could just delete that part of it. And you could keep the privacy policy, delete the footer, and let's see, and let's say give me access, or you could say submit, whatever you want to say there. You can play with that and just go to save web form and go to your step number 2, and your form name, you can just call that, you could call it dog training membership. And then your thank you page, once they opt in, you're definitely going to want to send them to some sort of a page, you know, that makes sure they understand they need to confirm and opt in. And you can create those pages within Composer. And we've touched on this before, but I'm also going to go into Composer real quick here, and we'll create a very basic download page or a confirmation page, and then I'll show you how to get those pages online. And that would be only if you're creating your own pages, so that every month you're sending your customers, you know, to a page to download their content. There's several ways you can deliver that content. You could just send them straight to the files like we did in the email, or you could send them straight to a link to download content, or on a thank you page you could send them information to just grab their content off that thank you page. So you can go to custom page or URL and you can just put in your website. And then just go to step 3 here. And on this third step, you're just going to choose I will install my form, and you can just grab this code here and copy it. And right here now, I've got my Composer opened here. So this is going to be our, you know, thank you for buying. We'll just call this our basic thank you page, or we'll call this our download page. Your monthly training. You could say access or you could say activate. You know, that would basically tell them that, hey, I need to activate my training. And then you just go down here to source file, and you can just go ahead and paste that in there. And if you want to center your form, you can just go to where you copied and pasted your form in and just type the word center, and then do the little caret keys. Just like you see on the screen there, we did arrow to the left, / center, arrow to the right, and that centers the form up. And then you can come in here and play around with the font sizes. And then you're just going to save that. And so basically you're all done there. You've just got a very basic you know, thank you type page. That's really all you need, because from that page, that's where and maybe on this thank you page you can include links to your bonuses and things like that, but that's the page where you're just going to insert this form, so they put in their information, it activates you know, that content, so it's going to start delivering them the content on a regular basis. Now if you did want to create you know, a new page, like let's say a page of, you know, loaded with PDFs or something like that, you could create, you know, your basic pages this way. You could have you know, month 1 training, and you could call it the basics. And maybe you have a series of PDFs, you know, PDF 1, PDF 2, PDF 3. Maybe you have a lot of content that month or some extra bonuses. And so you can just do that and go to insert link, and you're just gonna make sure that you're linking up your files that you've uploaded to your computer from there. So you can just link those things up. And you can change however you want to do that. And then you could also just put direct links to your videos as well online. So it's just very basic thank you page here. And let's just call this let's just save this page, and we'll call it month 1. So we'll just call this month 1 here. Let's go ahead and save this. And I'm just going to create a new folder, and we'll call this membership site. So you now have this page. It's called month1.html. So now what you need to do is, once you have your content created, you have your content linked up on this page, and you're assuming this is going to be like your month 1 training. So this would be the link in the email that you could send them to, and it's just going to be a basic HTML page. And the reason you have it set up this way is because Aweber auto delivers it every 30 days, so that your customers get their content in a timely manner without you having to go through the process of setting up expensive or membership solutions that take a while. So you can just go to FileZilla now and just look for that content. So let's just pull it up here, the content we just created. There it is. And inside FileZilla here, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this. FileZilla, the left hand side are files on your computer. Right hand side will be your web hosting information. So from inside, when you first open it up, it's going to say Open Site Manager in the top left. And inside here, this is where you put in your domain.com. Make sure server type is FTP, because most hosting companies, that's what it is. Your logon type will be normal. And then the username and password is going to be what's provided by your hosting company. And once you do all that, you can just go ahead and hit OK to proceed. What's great about it is once it's set up, all you're going to have to do then next time you log in is just scroll down and log in. Most of your content's going to be done under public HTML, and you're going to want to put it into it. You can right click and choose create directory to choose where you want to put it. So we can just call this let's just call this monthly membership. And then inside here we'll just have month1.html. So let's go ahead and test that out. So we're going to go up here to our browser. And there it is. So there's our month 1 content. Now if this is how you wanted to structure it, with all your PDFs and videos onto these download pages, you would just copy this link, and this would be the link that you would add into like your follow-up messages. So your month 1 training, instead of giving them direct links to the files, you could just give them direct access to access their content. So here's your first PDF and video. Boom. Go ahead and save that. And you'll notice here now that follow-up message is all set up so that every 30 days inside here they're going to get their new month's content. And it's going to be all on autopilot, so you can just focus your time and energy on promoting that, and then on occasion if somebody has to cancel or refund, you just jump on in here to subscribers. And so the main things to keep in mind is just it's just very basic. Your follow-up messages are very important. Make sure you tell them about what's coming up next so that they stay with you. But setting up your follow-up sequence is very important for this. And then once you have that set up, all you need to do is grab the web form and just put it onto your download page and for them to access their training, and it's going to automatically activate their membership. And while at the same time they're billing, their content, every single month. So it's going to work out good for you. You get a nice residual income stream. And it's a very basic way to set up membership websites.